we spent a lot of time talking about, do we want a deep organization or do we want a wide organization? And I want leverage. I want everyone to do what I've done faster as part of the art of real estate. Let's all live amazing lives and let's have showing assistants and all the things that are the pain points of real estate so that we can all go do the things we want to do with our families.
Holy smokes, it is go time. We are here with Ahren Booher out of Strongsville, Ohio, who has been in real estate for just over 12 years. Ahren, you're the CEO of the Art of Real Estate team. Is that true?
That is very true.
That's awesome. And you guys did just over 173 sales last year for about $40 million in production?
Correct. Yes.
Love it. You've also been recognized as tomorrow's leader today. That's pretty impressive, Ahren. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So, all right, let's just jump right in and get started. So just give us an idea, Ahren, what makes you great? What makes you awesome in the role that you're in real estate?
I think if I had to, again, to my horn here, I would say my hunger for knowledge and growth. I don't want to jinx it, but I've never plateaued in growth as far as production, sales, or anything. We've always outperformed our previous year, and I've been on a 12-year track with that. So let's hope 2022 continues on that trend. And the sky's the limit when you're with KW for sure.
So knowledge and growth. Have you always been hungry for knowledge and growth minded, Ahren?
Yes, is the short answer. And I'm sure there were some lulls or distractions at, younger ages and maybe some immaturity. But my grandfather was an educator. Education's always been really important in our family. The star student, overachiever has just kind of been in my DNA. So yes, I would say I'm confident in saying I've always been hungry for growth.
I love that. So what drives you? Give us an idea, Ahren.
I think, okay, so I won't go too deep into this for sake of time. And it was very eye-opening for me to go through the education process, to always do really well in school, to, checking the boxes. I'm doing this. And then I chose to pursue a music degree without completely thinking through the real life application of that. And although I graduated summa cum laude and all the pats on the back, I got out into the real world and very quickly was, what is that going to look like? And full disclosure, I am an open book. Like, it took a toll on my mental health just to question my worth and, what am I going to do with my life? And that same summer I graduated from college, I did get my real estate license, and it was tough. It was 2010. We were clearly in a recession, and I sold one home my first year in real estate. Yeah. One, I was also, bartending, doing all the things. I lived at home with mom. And again, I just didn't feel great about myself. And eventually I had a mental health switch where I was like, you know what, I'm going to dive in, no more excuses, get out of victim mode. And if I choose to get out of real estate, it's going to be my choice. It's not going to be because real estate beat me or it was too hard. So it's really simple. What motivates me is I want to feel really good when I go to bed at night, put my head on that pillow, feel good about what I've accomplished, what I've given back, and that I've set myself up for success for the future.
So you come in 2010 during the recession, you come out of an art background. What made you choose real estate?
Yeah. So this is not even like a really great story. I did not necessarily want to go back to like a 4-year degree setting to get something out. Again, I didn't think through that real life application. I auditioned because I have a vocal performance degree. It wasn't even education. I debated going to grad school, and I debated switching degrees. And my mom literally slid a newspaper across like the kitchen table. And she was like, "What about real estate?" And I was like, "Mom, it's a recession." Like, why would I ever want to get into real estate? But my family is full of entrepreneurs and business owners. My mom's been in, medical sales forever. And I was like, oh, well, 30 hours of classes, not a huge financial commitment. Like, I guess I'll give it a try. And that was the beginning.
I guess I'll give it a try. All right. So mom slides a newspaper under your door just over 12 years ago. and
Yes.
now you're here.
Yeah. I knew I wanted to be in business for myself because mom never missed a soccer game, a choir concert, or anything. So I knew I didn't want to work a 9 to 5 and have that, lack of freedom. So that was part of it. And again, that's kind of the segue into the real estate background.
Great. So take us back and give us an idea of like some of the toughest lessons that you've learned in your role or in your career thus far.
The beginning really was like getting a freight train started. I would say, be careful who you surround yourself with, because I remember coming into that market center like so fired up and excited, coming from, again, a college setting, thirsty for knowledge. And everyone was so downtrodden and just kind of like the market is what it was, and there was a real lack of energy because people rode, the market down. I was coming in brand new. I didn't even know what they were talking about or why people, I didn't live, it was in the recession, yet clearly I didn't own a home. It didn't affect me the way it was affecting them. So everything's true that the people you surround yourself with is very important. And don't compare yourself, to other people's reality. You can 100% determine your own fate in any market. Obviously, we're kind of shifting gears right now. I've never seen a market turn in a different direction. I've only watched it get better. And I'm confident I have the skills that no matter what happens, like we'll survive. What else? Oh, I was a forever student, which wasn't shocking, but I did bold. I did, family reunion. I did all those things, but I was staying in that education like mode and I wasn't implementing. I was learning all about it, but I was like, I have to learn more before I can go do this. And it's like, no, there's no secret sauce. You just have to go do it.
See. So the toughest lesson. So one of the toughest lessons then is basically education without execution is just pure entertainment.
That sounds very accurate to me.
You probably already had everything that it would take to succeed. You just needed to take action and
Yes,
get it done.
I was terrified of making a mistake. I was terrified someone was going to ask me a question I wouldn't know the answer. So I just kept eating knowledge, but I wasn't doing anything with it.
Got it. So two big lessons. One, who you surround yourself with matters, right?
Yes.
Making sure that you're surrounding with people that have made a decision to win, that are going to do whatever it takes. This is their career. This isn't part-time, right?
Correct.
People that are optimistic, that are learning based. And then the other one is making sure that you're executing on anything that you're currently learning.
Yes.
Hey there, I'm Jeremy Herman, CEO and co-founder of ClarityNOW. Listening to this podcast means that you're committed to your career and to growing your business. You're the reason why we created ClarityNOW. You see, ClarityNOW is the real estate software designed to transform real estate agents into business owners. Now, being a great real estate agent is an entirely different skill set than being a great business owner. That's where ClarityNOW can help. ClarityNOW is powerful because some of the industry's top real estate coaches built it. We know what insights as coaches top performers need to grow their business. So, do you have a business plan based on your net profit goals? Do you know how you're performing against your quarterly goals? Do you generate a P&L each month? Do you have the best tools to help your team members hit their goals? Are you managing your company's pipeline and conversion reports? Do you have the data that you need at your fingertips to run a successful business? ClarityNOW can solve all these problems. Visit us at www.claritynowre.com and schedule a personalized tour to learn more. Mention this ad and we'll throw in 1 month for free. Congratulations on your success, and let's take your business to the next level together.
What about challenges that you may face right now? What's the biggest challenge that you see or that you face right now in your role?
It's time, and 110%. It's just, it isn't always necessarily trying to make more money or sell more or do more. It's time, it's leverage. I just got married in May. I'm 34, which clearly means if we're going to have kids at some point, like we're going to have to do a shift. My husband and I are still a majority of the production of our team. And while, of course, we have systems and some leverage, it's terrifying to think of him and I, retreating a little bit from a very spear heavy business. But we want to travel. We want to do the things that everyone wants to do. And it's hard to give up your metaphorical baby in your business to put that in the hands of other people. So time is my biggest issue at the moment.
Is there anything specific, Ahren, that you're doing to work on time management or improvement or efficiencies, right? All time or all work expands to fill the time allowed. I'm sure you're learning that quickly.
Yes.
Yeah, give us an idea. Anything specific you're doing to help you with that?
First is like clarity. I guess that's the buzzword of the day. And like, I think we tell ourselves a lot of like false truths. Oh, I'm so busy or I don't have time. But once you really start paying attention to where your time is going, and tracing that ROI. I mean, when your screen time on social media is X amount of hours per day, like it's kind of hard to say I have no time when clearly you found time to do that. So I think just being more cognizant and having awareness around it and being careful that I'm not falling into the trap of complaining about not having time when I do, first and foremost. Sitting down and really going over our organizational chart of where are we right now, where do we want to be in a year, 3 year, 5 years, and sharing that vision with the team, because if everyone's not bought in, it doesn't, we're not doing a good job of sharing that vision. And then hiring talent, bringing people into our world that push us and make us uncomfortable, but they're going to propel us forward so that we can have that leverage. We spent a lot of time talking about, do we want a deep organization or do we want a wide organization? And I want leverage. I want everyone to do what I've done faster as part of the art of real estate. Let's all live amazing lives and let's have showing assistants and all the things that are the pain points of real estate so that we can all go do the things we want to do with our families.
All right. So awareness is the first step to change. All right. And then we make time for what matters most. And
Yes.
then the other piece that I heard you say is that when you actually evaluate where your time is being spent, it's interesting, right? Like you're seeing all these other things that hey, I have time to do this. Why not make time for what matters most?
Correct.
Especially if you want to get all the things accomplished that you're looking to get accomplished.
Yes. Yeah. And getting crystal clear on, sometimes I think we say goals are because it's like fun to say that, I'm learning when you meet with a new agent and they're like, I want to sell X amount in volume or units and why. And most people don't even know. Like, it's just a cool number. You round up or it's the next milestone. And it's what is that going to do for your family? How much time is that going to take? That's been a really big like aha moment that just out producing, like, again, I gently bragged about earlier, like just doing more at some point becomes uncool if you're not doing it gracefully and still making sure you have time for things that matter most.
Absolutely. Anytime that you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to everything else. You better make sure you're saying yes and no to the right things.
You are. Yes, correct. 100%.
When your values are clear, decisions are easy. Remember that.
I may have heard that over under 100 times from Mr. Jeremy Herman.
So what do you see, Ahren, as greatest opportunity in real estate right now?
Wealth building, which I know is a little bit of a broad topic. My husband and I have recently, really evaluated how can we make our money work for us when we're sleeping, which, is kind of the name of the game. So we are diving deeper. I've done like minor hard money lending in the past, but doing that on a more intentional level. Really the mindset shift of every time we're going on a listing appointment, our first question is, should we be buying this? And we have been picking up a few properties over the course of the year, which was something that we had total paralysis by over-analysis about. So that's been really neat. And yeah, the passive income, which, obviously like investing is not completely passive, but that mindset shift and taking that back to our team so we can really build abundant wealth is our main focus and the biggest opportunity for anyone in real estate.
Absolutely. Love that. So anything specific that you're winning at or crushing it right now, Ahren?
It's twofold. I'm winning because I'm doing it, and I'm certainly not crushing it, but I am in the Red Shirt program to explore becoming a MAPS coach. And I have grown more in the last 11 weeks than maybe in my whole time as being a Keller Williams agent, because it is just like baptism by fire hose. It's a lot, but it's awesome.
So my next question then of what's actually causing you to win, maybe you've already answered that. It sounds like what's causing you to win is that you keep putting yourself in situations that are causing you to grow, right? Like,
yeah,
I'll
I
answer for you. Is there something specific that's what's causing you to win?
I think what's causing me to win is really getting clear about why. I mean, it all comes full circle. You know, Gary Keller's a smart man. Like knowing what your big why is, and when you do know what that is, and mine is more time with my family, and it just not being afraid of the discomfort and the growth opportunities and leaning into them, because my crutch is just selling more real estate. Jeremy and I've talked about that a million times. I feel pretty confident that I can do well on a listing presentation. I can go sell 70 units myself if I need to. But that's not really what my goal is, so I need to not just stay in that safe zone that takes up a whole heck of a lot of time. And I need to be able to pass that off to the team and focus on things that's going to generate bigger opportunities for the organization as a whole.
All right. So summarize that for us. What causes you to win?
Knowing my big why.
Yes. Being clear about why you're doing this in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it. All right. So knowing everything that you know now, give us something prescriptive that if somebody wants to be where you're at today and do it in half the time, give us some very specific prescriptive things that they should do to get there in half the time.
All right. Bullet points. Know your big why you're doing it. Time blocking. Really be honest about your time blocking. Extreme ownership. Get out of victim mode. There's no secret sauce. It is going to take hard work and recognizing that. And just get in bigger rooms, be around people that motivate you and have higher level conversations, and make sure that you're a small fish in a big pond. Don't stay in that comfort zone of where you feel good because you're the most talented person in the room.
That's great. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
Give me an idea of like what TV show or movie series or something like that you're currently streaming or watching right now.
So I hate to be that person, but I'm trying to detox on the whole Netflix thing. And I've been crushing books lately, and I'm allowing myself, I listen to a lot of Audible in the car, and that's more self-development type stuff. But I've just been doing like the guilty pleasure reading at night to try to avoid the whole Netflix thing, because especially during COVID, we went down a deep Netflix rabbit hole.
So what was the last series that you were attached to at Netflix before you detoxed?
Oh man, that's a good question. I mean, I like the fluffy girly stuff. But we even watched like the Umbrella Academy. I think that's more like action figure like type stuff. We did watch that. So that's super nerdy. But I mix some Vampire Diaries in there too.
Okay. I love it. What about a business book that's made the most significant impact on your career?
Up until about 2 months ago, I would have said Rocket Fuel. And I don't know the author off the top of my head, but it talks about how you're either a visionary or an implementer. And that was really impactful for me. But Extreme Ownership by, is it Jocko and Steve Babbitt? Yeah. And that one just like punches you right in the feels where, okay, it's empowering for sure, because we have more control than we give ourselves credit for.
Absolutely. How about a specific business person or CEO that you study or follow?
I mean, she's definitely built a business, but I wouldn't say that was her main intention. I'm a big Brene Brown fan. She's kind of built her whole platform on studying guilt and shame. She's done her TED Talks and all that kind of stuff, but I think it's Dare to Lead is her book. I'm almost positive. So I like all her stuff, but again, I'm really big on exploring like the mental health and, how we can leave our impact and be better leaders. So big Brene Brown fan.
All right. Take us back to when you were 20. All right. So if you can go back to you being 20 years old, what advice would you give yourself?
I mean, the thing that just jumped into my head again is like, do it faster. Cause I picked the painful route for sure. Probably read more, just like it's books that mean something, not Harry Potter and Twilight, by reading, I question sometimes when people at least don't listen to Audible or something. Like you got to soak that up. I just wish I could have done it faster. It's like interest. It's so compounding.
So do it faster. Is there something specific that you wish you would have done faster though?
I think the self-confidence, like just tell it's a really cool thought to say that I think 20-year-old Ahren would be very proud of 34-year-old Ahren, which is a good feeling. So just, I wish I would have had the confidence and not been afraid to fail. And I was I want to be perfect and be a perfectionist, and I'm afraid of mistake. But by doing that, I really did cost myself years of growth potential.
Yeah. So execute faster, then reflect on what you executed and make tiny adjustments and then keep going. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's really like, I come back to it all the time. Like my sister's a doctor. Okay. And I sell real estate, and I'm fortunate that in this point in life, I think there's more financial freedom in being a real estate agent and owning a real estate team. But she worked a heck of a lot harder to get her, designations and education than I did to get a real estate license.
Right. Okay. All right, Ahren. So if you could pick any other profession outside of real estate, what would it be?
I got to go back to the music degree. I studied opera. I wanted to be an opera singer in New York City.
An opera singer in New York City.
Yes. I didn't really, again, think it had nothing. It was such an innocent dream because I didn't think through anything about financial or the fact that I probably wouldn't even want to live in New York City, but that was my childhood dream. So I'm going to stick with that.
All right. Well, it's been awesome, Ahren. Thank you so much for sharing. You got a phenomenal story. You got a huge career ahead of you. Sounds like just got married, potential family on the horizon. So a lot of things to be excited about.
Life is good.
Life is good. It's definitely go time. Thanks so much, Ahren. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.